Raise your hand if you've heard of the 50-30-20 rule. It's the holy grail of personal finance advice. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. It sounds so neat, so tidy. It fits in a little pie chart. But here's the thing. It's broken. I tried to follow this rule when I moved to a new city for a job. I did the math. Rent was 40% of my income. Groceries were another 10. Utilities, 5. Transportation, 5. I was already at 60% just to survive. And that's assuming I didn't eat anything other than rice and beans. I couldn't hit the 50% mark. And you know what I did? I felt like a failure. I thought, I must be doing something wrong. I'm bad at money. But I wasn't bad at money. The rule was bad at math. It was designed in a different economic era, a time when a house cost 3 times your salary, not 10, when a gallon of milk didn't cost $6. If you are struggling to make the pie chart work, stop slicing the pie. You need to throw the pie away. Let's try a different approach. I call it the reverse ratio. Instead of starting with your needs, you start with your freedom. Here's how it works. Step 1, audit your fixed costs. Be brutal. Look at the big 3: housing, transportation, food. These are the leaky buckets. Most people can't change their rent immediately, I get it. But can you get a roommate? Can you negotiate your rent? Can you move 5 miles further out? I moved from a luxury apartment to a slightly older building with character, by which I mean creaky floors, and saved $400 a month. That's $4,000 a year. Look at your car. Do you really need a car payment that looks like a mortgage? I drove a beat-up Honda Civic for years. People laughed. I didn't care. I was saving $600 a month while they were paying off rims. The goal here is to get your needs category down to 40%. It's hard. It requires lifestyle changes, but it's the only way the math works in today's economy. Step 2, invert the savings priority. The old rule says save 20%. That's cute. It's not enough. Inflation is eating that alive. You need to aim for 30%. Yes, 30. It sounds impossible, but look at it this way. If you can trim your needs to 40% and you live a modest life for your wants at 30%, you have a 30% savings rate. At a 30% savings rate, you can retire in roughly 25 years. At the standard 20% rate, it takes 37 years. That is a 12-year difference. That is over a decade of your life you get back. I remember when I bumped my savings rate to 30%. It hurt. I didn't go out to eat as much. I bought generic brands, but watching my investment accounts grow, that felt better than any dinner I skipped. Step 3, hack your wants category. This is where the fun happens. We tend to think wants are things we buy, but a lot of happiness comes from experiences, not stuff. I use the cost per use rule. If I buy a video game for $60 and play it for 100 hours, that's 60 cents an hour. Great value. If I buy a designer jacket for $200 and wear it twice, that's $100 an hour. Terrible value. Optimize your spending for joy, not status. Status is expensive. Joy is often cheap. The 50-30-20 rule assumes you're average. It assumes you want an average life with an average retirement. If you want something different, you have to do something different. Here's my challenge to you. Don't try to fix your budget to fit the rule. Fix the rule to fit your reality. Look at your bank statement from last month. What percentage actually went to savings? If it was 5%, don't try to jump to 30 tomorrow. Aim for 10. Build the muscle. Small wins lead to big wins. And here's the counterintuitive truth about budgeting. The tighter the constraint, the more creative you become. When I was broke, I learned to cook. I learned to fix things. I learned to find free entertainment. I became resourceful. Now that I have more money, I still use those skills. I don't pay for things I can do myself. Your finances are not a rigid math equation. They're a living, breathing system. Adapt it, bend it, Break the rules if you have to, because at the end of the day, the goal isn't to follow a rule book. The goal is to buy your freedom. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you found this video helpful, toss a like on it. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're serious about keeping more of your money, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.